Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to class today. My name is Lydia and I'm going to be teaching today's Equip class. So I don't have any live participants today. So if you're joining us virtually via the recording, welcome. If you haven't taken my class before, my name's Lydia. I'm a physical therapy student at Quinnipiac and I'm also a group fitness instructor and a certified personal trainer. And if you have taken my class before, welcome. We're going to do a little bit of a longer class than I've done before. So I've done some 30-minute classes with Equip before, but today we're going to be doing a 45-minute class. So we'll start with a warm-up. We'll head into a short cardio portion, and then we'll be heading into a upper body, core, and then a lower body circuit. Short circuits, the only thing that you're going to need is a chair. If you would like to do the exercises seated, you can also do the exercises standing up if you are able to. You can have some water nearby, and please take a break at any point. At any point that you feel like you need to take a break, take some water, please go ahead and do so. And please consult with your physician or your doctor before engaging in any of these activities if you have any questions on whether or not you should do so. Alrighty, so we are going to go ahead and get started. So like I said, these exercises can be done either seated or standing. Hold on, I'm not centered. That's going to bother me out class. There we go. These exercises can be done either seated or standing. I will let you know if they have to be done seated. Otherwise, you can go ahead and do either. I'll show you both. If you see me looking at my phone, I just have a timer on my phone for the exercises. We're all going to start in a seated position for the warm-up. We're going to do about a 5-minute warm-up before we go ahead and get started with today's class. So exercise number 1 is going to be our seated toe touch. So we're going to go ahead and plant the heel, reach the arms all the way up to the ceiling, and then fold towards the heel. Toes are pointing to the ceiling, arms come back up. Then go ahead and switch heels, reach down towards that foot and up to the ceiling, restore the posture. So we're putting the heel on the ground, pointing the toe up to the ceiling, folding the chest down towards that thigh, and then restoring the posture up to the ceiling. Go ahead and keep going. We're going to switch in 3 and 2 and 1. We're going to go for our seated spinal twist. So bringing our arms out to a T, we're going to bring the right arm in front, twist our torso all the way to the left, come back to center, and twist to the right. Alrighty, so you don't need to go as far as I'm going. As far as you can get is fine. And if you need to keep your hands a little lower, that's fine too. The goal here is just to be moving the torso so we're facing either direction. All right, for 3 and 2 and 1. Come back to the middle, bring the hands by the side. We're going to go for some shoulder rolls, bringing the shoulders up, back, and down your spine. Really opening up the chest here. If you do a lot of sitting throughout the day, this is a great thing to throw in every 30 minutes or so to just restore that posture, open up your chest, bring your shoulders back down your back. We're going to go for 3 and 2 and 1. Going for a head roll, dipping the head to your left shoulder, chin comes up to the ceiling, ear comes to your right shoulder, and chin comes to the chest. Just coming around here, very gentle and slow with these neck rolls. This is not trying to be a difficult exercise. This is just a light stretch to warm us up for class today. We're going to go for 3 and 2 and 1. All right, bring the head back to neutral. We're going to get started with our seated toe touches one more time. We're going for the second round of our warm-up before we head into our first little bit of exercise, which will be our short cardio circuit. So going ahead with the seated toe touches in 2 and 1. Again, plant the heel, toes to the ceiling, then reach up and down towards the heel. Bring the chest as close to the thigh as you can, then restore the posture. Arms come back up. And again, if you can't get your arms all the way to the ceiling, that's totally fine. Just bring them up to wherever is comfortable for you. And then you're going to switch feet. You should feel this one down the back of your calf and through the hamstring, which is in the back of your thigh. I'm going to go for 3, 2, and 1. Come back to neutral. We're going for that seated spinal twist. Arms out to a T. We're twisting to the right, back to the center, and to the left. Moving at your own pace here. Again, however much range of motion that you're getting is fine. The goal here is to be turning our torso and our head in either direction. A little spinal twist here to start class for 3 and 2 and 1. Bring the arms back to neutral. We're gonna go back for those shoulder rolls. Shoulders come up, back, and down the spine. We tend to hold a lot of tension in our shoulders. Maybe you'll find that throughout the day you're holding your shoulders high. Just remember to take a deep breath and drop those shoulders down every once in a while. Restore that posture for 3 and 2 and 1. Last exercise for our warm up. We're going to go for our head rolls. We're going in the opposite direction now. So first the ear comes to the right shoulder, chin comes up to the sky, ear comes to the left shoulder, and chin to chest. Again, not whipping through these exercises. Be very gentle with your neck. We're going for 3 and 2 and 1. That is your warm up. Go ahead and grab a sip of water. We're going to take a brief moment before we head into our cardio circuit. So before we get started with our cardio circuit, I'm just going to let you guys know what's coming up. So we'll do 2 rounds of this cardio circuit. Each exercise we're going to do for 30 seconds, okay? You can do these exercises in seated, but I will show you the standing option. I'm going to demonstrate the exercises now before we get started, so you can just have your water, have your rest, and watch and observe before we get started. Okay, so exercise number 1 is going to be our seated marches. So you're bringing the knee up to the chest here, and then placing the foot back on the floor, switching knees. You want to make sure you're sitting up nice and tall, not rolling back in your chair. Option to do this in standing. I'd recommend holding onto a surface. You could hold onto your chair. If you have a desk, a table, option to do this standing marches instead, okay? So you can complete this circuit in standing or in seated. This is the standing option for marches. Again, we want to keep the chest up nice and tall, bring the knees to the ceiling. Try your best not to arch your back or your shoulders forward. Stand up nice and tall for those marches. That is exercise number 1. We'll do it for 30 seconds. Either choose the seated or the standing option. Okay, exercise number 2. If you're doing the seated option, gonna bring our arms out to that T again. Again, if you can't lift your arms that high, it's absolutely fine to leave them a little bit lower. We're gonna be going for arm pumps. So pretending that you have a big exercise ball under your arm and that you're pressing into that exercise ball. We're going for quick little pumps. Straight arms, pump, pump, pump. If you're already standing for your marches, feel free to go for those standing pumps. Alrighty guys, so moving those arms quick, keeping tension as if you're pushing that ball against your sides each time you press down. Alrighty, again, if you can't lift your arms that high, this can be completed lower, closer to your body. The point of that exercise is just the quickness. So like I said, this first circuit is going to be a little bit of cardio. So we're going for speed of repetitions. Okay, guys. Next, if you're in your seated option, we're going to be doing seated tap outs. So your arms are going to be in towards your chest, your feet planted on the ground. We're doing tap right foot and right hand out, come back in, left foot and left hand out. So we're going to do alternating tap outs here, tapping the heel, pressing the hand out in front of you, okay? Keeping up the speed in order to make it a cardio exercise. If you're going in your standing position, I recommend taking out the arm movements and just going for the heel taps in front, okay? Alternating feet, tapping those heels in front of you, okay? Similar to the marching, but instead of lifting the knee up, we're sticking the heel out, okay, guys? Little taps. So nobody wants me to be tripping on my laces here during our class. Okay, and our last exercise, if you're gonna do in seated, is gonna be punches. So again, those arms up, we're gonna punch out, alternating arms, okay, guys? Again, if you need to punch lower in order for it to be comfortable, it's totally fine. But the option is to go with a little bit of quickness. Punch, 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 punch. If you're gonna be standing, make sure that you have a stable surface, not a carpet or grass. Make sure you're on something stable like hardwood floor or tile. If you're comfortable standing on 2 feet and you don't feel like you are unbalanced, you can do the punches in standing, but I highly recommend doing them in seating if you have any kind of balance history with imbalance. Okay, so those are going to be our exercises. We are going to get started with these seated marches or standing marches, whichever you choose, in 3, 2, and 1. All right, seated marches. We're bringing the knee to the sky, sitting up nice and tall. Make sure your chin has a little bit of space between your chest, looking straight ahead here. We have 20 more seconds. Okay, guys, sitting up so that even that low back is nice and tall, bringing those knees up. Again, this is cardio, but the pace is absolutely up to you. That's one of the best parts about tempo is that whatever tempo feels challenging for you, you go ahead and do that. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Alrighty, short rest here. Next, we're going to be going for our arm pumps. Again, option to do the arm pumps in standing. I'm going to be showing the seated option. We're going in 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, arms out to a T. We're pumping like we have a big ball under our arms that we're pressing against our sides. Alrighty, guys, so maintaining the tension, keeping up the tempo, trying to keep those arms in a relatively high position. We've got less than 10 seconds left for 3 and 2 and 1. All right, nice job, guys. Next, we're going for the seated tap out. Option again, hold on to an object, tapping the heel. Alrighty, guys, these are the 2 options. If you're doing the standing option, tapping the heel. Seated option, we will do heels and palms in 2 and 1. Push, push, push. So we're tapping the heel in either option. If you're in seated, I'd like hand and foot action here. So this is requiring some core stability as we're moving our limbs away from the center of our body, creating some instability here. Keep up the tempo for 3 and 2 and 1. Nice work. One more exercise for round number 1 of our cardio circuit. We're going for the punches. Okay, guys? So again, hands up to the chest. We'll punch out, alternating each arm. If you're going to be standing, just make sure that you have a firm surface to stand on and that you're comfortable standing on 2 feet while your arms are moving. We're going to be going in 3 and 2 and 1. Here we go. Punch, 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 punch. So we're alternating arms here. You want to make sure you're getting that arm straight out in front of you. Again, if you need to do them a little lower in order for it to be comfortable, that's okay. We just want you to be continuously moving throughout this exercise. Punch, punch, punch. Keeping the tempo up. So we will have an upper body circuit, which will involve some similar type of movements, but we'll be doing a slower tempo. So this is the circuit to really get your heart rate up. Punch, punch, punch. For 3 and 2 and 1. Very nice work. Okay, that is round number 1. Great job. Round of applause. We have one more round of cardio before we head into our upper body circuit. So we're going to be doing 3 circuits following this, a short upper body, core, and lower body circuits. We're going to work our way from our head down to our toes for exercises, and then we will have a little cool down and be on our merry way. So we're going to head back into our marches for round 2 of our cardio circuit in 3 and 2 and 1. Here we go. Knee to the ceiling. Bring that knee up. Again, you don't have to get an insane amount of range of motion here. So if you're only getting your knee up that much, totally fine. Just try to keep the tempo up. So as soon as your other foot comes down, we want to be lifting the opposite foot up. All right, so decrease the time that both of your feet are on the ground. We are going for 3 and 2 and 1. All righty. Next, we're going into the arm pumps. I showed them in seated last time. This time, I'm going to show them in standing. We're going to start in 3 and 2 and 1. Here we go. Pump, pump, pump. Like you're pressing that ball against your side. Pump, pump, pump. Try to keep up your tempo. Oh, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of class. If you would like to play some music, please feel free. Go ahead. Music is great for cardio exercises because it helps you keep that rhythmic flow of the tempo. And if you play some upbeat music, it'll help you keep a higher tempo. So you might challenge yourself even more than you usually would. We're going for 3 and 2 and 1. Nice job, guys. Again, next exercise is going to be the seated tap outs, palm and heel coming out to the front, alternating. If you're going to do them in standing, that's totally fine. Please hang on to an object. We're going to do just the heels, alternating. All right, we're starting in 3 and 2 and 1. I'm showing the standing option now. Tap the heel, alternating. Again, get a firm footing before you go to tap the opposite heel, but try to decrease the time that you're standing on 2 feet. Alrighty, holding on here. You got 3 and 2 and 1. Nice work. Awesome job, guys. We've got the punches coming up next. Again, make sure that you have a firm surface if you're going to stand. Otherwise, you can do these in seated. These are going to be the last exercise of our cardio circuit. We're going in 3 and 2 and 1. Punch, punch, punch. Keep up the pace here, guys. Punch, punch, punch. Keep it moving this whole time. 20 more seconds of cardio. Punch, punch, punch. You got this. Punch, punch, punch. I hope you have some good music on and that you can follow the tempo of your music to keep these arms moving for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. Last one. All right, guys, great job. That is our cardio circuit. Feel free to have a seat, grab some water. We're going to be heading into our upper body circuit very shortly. Okay. So just like the last time, we're going to go to our upper body circuit, and I'm going to give us all of the exercises before we get started, just so that you know what to expect. This is a longer circuit than the last one, which means we have a few more exercises. If you've taken my class before, some of these exercises will look familiar to you, and some of them will be new. And if you haven't taken my class before, don't worry, they're very self-explanatory, and I will cue throughout the circuit. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the explanation. So you just have your rest. I'm going to explain. Each exercise is going to be 30 seconds long. Then we'll move to the next exercise. We'll do a total of 2 rounds. So you will see each exercise 2 times. And so if you don't like one, don't worry. You only have to do it twice. Alrighty, first exercise we're going to be doing is called shoulder abduction. So you can either do this with your thumbs up to the ceiling or with your palms down to the floor. I personally prefer thumbs up, so we're coming up to a T and down, up to a T and down. Again, option to do it palms down here. We're doing throughout the 30 seconds at your own pace. We want to prolong the amount of time that your arms are resisting gravity. So this is the most anti-gravity position for your arms. So you're going to try to hold them and slowly lower them down to your sides. Okay, resist gravity on the way down. That's exercise number 1. You can do that exercise in standing too if you'd like. It's going to look exactly the same as in the seated. Okay, guys, exercise number 2 is going to be a shoulder flexion. So again, thumbs up. We're bringing the thumbs to the ceiling, in front of us, and down to our sides. All right, again, we're resisting gravity on the way down, going nice and slow to bring those arms to our sides. Okay, option to do it in standing as well. Make sure you have firm footing if you're going to be doing these in standing. Okay, guys, next one we're going to be doing, I don't think we've done in class before, it's going to be shoulder external rotation. So we're going to be holding our arm at a 90-degree angle with our elbows in at our sides. We're opening our wrist out to the side and bringing our wrist back to neutral. Okay, guys? So think about if you were holding a piece of rubber band or a piece of gum, you want to stretch that piece of gum and back into the center. Stretch the piece of gum back into the center. Each time we pull those palms apart, we want to squeeze our shoulder blades in the back of our body and bring our hands back to the center. All right, that is going to be shoulder external rotations. Again, option to do these in standing. Make sure you're keeping the elbows tucked into your sides and not out to your walls on either side. All righty, guys. Next, we're going to be doing a hammer curl. So instead of a bicep curl, where your palms are facing up, we're going to be doing thumbs up, curl, and lower. So we're bringing our thumbs to our shoulders, squeezing our biceps, and then lowering our hands. Okay, guys, option if you have some soup cans or if you have some 1 or 2 pound weights, you can absolutely hold those for these class. But we're going to be doing a lot of upper body, so you definitely don't have to. Okay, last two exercises. For this exercise, you're really gonna have to be thinking about the movement of your shoulders. So I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see. Sitting up nice and tall, I'm gonna be squeezing my shoulder blades back like I'm pinching a pencil on my spine and then relaxing. Squeeze those shoulder blades back and relax. So it's like I have a pencil that I'm trying to pinch between my shoulder blades and then relaxing. Okay, guys, just a shoulder movement. All right. For the next exercise, instead of bringing the shoulders back, we're going to be protruding the shoulders forward. So arms are going to be out in front. We're going to push the shoulders forward and then relax to neutral. Push the shoulders forward and relax to neutral. So think about if you had a wall in front of you, you're pushing your knuckles into the wall and then relaxing. Push your knuckles into the wall and relax. Each time you push, your shoulder blades come apart, and then when you relax, they come back to their neutral position. Alrighty, guys, so those are the exercises we're going to be doing each for 30 seconds. We're going to get started in 3 and 2 and 1, starting with the shoulder abduction. So arms coming out to the side, slow lower them back to your sides. Alrighty, guys, again, option to do this one in standing. If you're doing it in standing, just make sure you have great footing underneath you. Feet should be shoulder width apart, feet planted firmly on the ground. Again, if you can't make it all the way up to your T position, that's fine. You can stop just below. None of these movements should be causing any pain. So if you're feeling pain, if you're feeling a pinching sensation throughout any of these movements, either just do them in a lower range of motion, so just not going up as high, or discontinue the exercise and move on to the next one. Alrighty, guys, go ahead and have a rest. The next exercise we're going to be going into is shoulder flexion. So thumbs facing up, we're going in 3 and 2 and 1. Out in front, slow lower. In front, slow lower. Thumbs up to the ceiling, trying to get those arms parallel to the floor. But again, if you have to stop a little bit lower, that's totally fine. Slowly lowering the arms down to resist gravity as we return to the neutral position. So we've got 3 and 2 and 1. Alrighty, guys. Bringing our arms to a 90-degree angle. We're bringing those elbows into our sides. We're about to go for our shoulder external rotation in 3 and 2 and 1. Stretch the rubber band back in. Stretch that rubber band, release the tension. Each time you stretch, pinch those shoulder blades back, opening up those arms and back to neutral. Great job. Keep those elbows in if you can. This is a difficult movement. It's shoulder external rotation. So if you're only getting a tiny bit of stretch in your rubber band, again, totally fine here. This one takes a lot of practice to get rotation in. We're going 3 and 2 and 1. Alrighty. Next, we're going to be going for that hammer curl. So again, instead of a bicep curl where the palms are up, we're doing thumbs up. We're going to curl in 2 and 1. Wrist to shoulders, slow lower. Squeeze those biceps, your upper arm here, slow lower. If you have this image of yourself pumping weights, this is what we're doing right now. The classic bicep curl or hammer curl action. That's what we've got going on here. Squeezing those biceps hard at the top. We got 3 and 2 and 1. Alrighty, next we're going to be going into our shoulder mobility exercises. We have the shoulder retractions where we're pinching the shoulders back, and then the serratus pushes where we're pushing the shoulders forward. Okay, so first we're going to do the retractions. So watching me, we're starting in 3 and 2 and 1. Sitting in a neutral position, pinch the shoulder blades back and relax. Pinch back and relax. Squeeze that pencil on your spine and then relax your shoulders. So you'll notice my hands are just comfortably resting on my lap. So it's not my arms doing the work here. It is really my shoulder blades. We are going for 3 and 2 and 1. Alrighty, so that is shoulder retraction. Now we're going to do shoulder protraction, which means we're pushing the shoulder blades forward here. So I'm just switching directions. Arms are coming out in front. We're going for those serratus anterior pushes in 2 and 1. Here we go. Plant the feet firmly. We're pushing the wrists forward and relax. Forward and relax. Like you're pressing your knuckles into the wall in front of you, but we're only moving those shoulder blades. So if you feel like you're pressing like this, see I have some bend in my waist, do your best to keep your spine and your chest completely still. Just pressing those shoulder blades forward and then relaxing. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Go ahead and rest your arms. Great job. Those are all of our exercises for round number 1. We have one more round of upper body and then we'll be moving into core. You have a little break here, so feel free to grab some water. Shake it out if you need to. Maybe some wrist circles if that feels good for you. We are going to be starting again with a seated shoulder abduction here, or you can do these in standing. I'm going to show the standing option for round number 2, but if you're in seated and you're comfortable doing the seated options, feel free to stick with that. Alrighty, guys, we are going for shoulder abduction in 3 and 2 and 1. Thumbs up, bring the arms to the T, and slow lower. All right, guys, I'm showing the standing option, but you can absolutely do this in seated for round number 2, whichever is more comfortable for you. We have about 15 more seconds, bringing those arms out to the T, and then really slow lower them down to your sides. Great work. For 3 and 2 and 1. Go ahead and have a rest. If you're in seated, make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. If you're standing, make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. Check for the arch in your back. If you feel like you're arching your back where your hips are coming forward, feel free to tuck, do a little pelvic tilt, tuck those hips forward so that your shoulders are stacked right over your hips. You have a nice neutral spine. We're going to be going for shoulder flexion in 3 and 2 and 1. Shoulders come out in front, slow lower down. Thumbs are up again for this one. We're trying to get those arms parallel to the ground. If they don't come that high, absolutely okay. Guess what? The muscle is working no matter how high they go. So we're going to work that muscle today in the range of motion that you are comfortable with. We've got less than 10 seconds left of this one. For 3 and 2 and 1. All right, perfect. Going into those external rotations where we're pulling the rubber band, okay? Do your best to glue those elbows to your sides for this one. Again, we're going to start with the rubber band in 3 and 2 and 1. Pull, relax, pull, relax. So again, this is not our cardio circuit. You already finished that one. So feel free to go at a slow pace and really focus on that motion. Focus on that form. Make sure you're standing up nice and tall. You should be putting even weight through both of your feet if you're standing. If you're sitting, try to put even weight through both of your sit bones, okay? So thinking about sitting up nice and tall, pushing through those sit bones. We're going for 3 and 2 and 1. All right, going back into those hammer curls, all right? If you're standing, make sure you've got even weight through your feet. Feet are stacked right under your hips. Same if you're seated. We're going for the curls in 2 and 1. Thumbs to shoulders, squeeze those biceps, slow lower the lower arm. Squeeze and lower. Squeeze and lower. Great job, guys. We have about 2 minutes left of upper body. So if your upper body is getting tired, you're almost there. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Alrighty, everybody, I would like to have them seated for these last 2 exercises, the shoulder retractions and the shoulder protraction, because I really want us to focus on nothing else except for that shoulder mobility. So for the retractions, again, going to be in our seated position, sitting up nice and tall, bring the shoulder blades back and relax. Back and relax. Really pinching those shoulder blades together. Pulling them as close as you can. And then relaxing. Again, this is just a movement of my shoulders. I'm not using my arms for this one. We got 3 and 2 and 1. Alrighty, guys, we're going into our protractions next. The last exercise of upper body, get excited. All right, arms out in front. Again, we're gonna punch those knuckles into the wall in 3 and 2 and 1. Punch, relax, punch, relax. Alrighty, guys, so we're really punching those shoulder blades forward, like we're pressing into the wall in front of us. Notice the only thing moving is my shoulders. All right, so again, also try not to protrude the neck on this one. Try to keep the neck nice and relaxed and just moving those shoulder blades forward, relax, forward, relax. We've got it. 3 and 2. Last one. And done with upper body. Great job, guys. Round of applause for you. Upper body is finished. We are going to our core circuit next. So if you've been in my class before, we've done upper body. We always do lower body, but we need to be doing some core, okay? So everybody's going to join me in the seated position for this core part of our class, okay? We actually only have 3 exercises, but we're going to be doing each exercise for 30 seconds, resting for 10, and then repeating it for 30 seconds. We'll do each exercise so twice, then we'll move into the next exercise. We're going to do it for 2 rounds. So you'll see each of these exercises 4 times, okay? These exercises are as follows. So exercise number 1, I like to call knits. So we're thinking about breathing in this exercise. So if you have any respiratory conditions or any conditions that prevent you from doing a rhythmic breathing exercise, please sit this one out. You can feel free to do marches instead because that is also a great core exercise. Okay, but if you are able to practice breathing, I highly encourage it. So what we're going to be doing is a knit. So I want you to put your hands on your rib cage, and when you think about inhaling, we're going to try to expand your hands out to the sides. So sometimes we do belly breathing where you expand your hands forward, so you'd be breathing into your belly. I would like us to breathe into our rib cage out to the sides, and then on your exhale, think about knitting your core together, okay? Squeezing everything towards your midline. All right, so we're going to be doing that rhythmic breathing for about 30 seconds. We'll rest and we'll repeat for another 30, thinking about this is your ribs, we're opening to the sides, and exhale, bring the ribs together, okay? That is exercise number 1. Great intrinsic core muscle exercise, okay? Working on the local core versus the global core, so they're smaller muscles. Alrighty, next we're going to be doing hip flexion with isometric hold. So you're going to be taking your hands, you can interlace your fingers and put them on your thigh. We're going to be bringing our thigh up as if we're bringing it to the ceiling and pushing on your thigh with our hands. So we're doing opposite motions here. Your thigh is trying to drive up and your hands are trying to drive down. Your hold for 1, 2, 3, and rest. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, and rest. So this is an isometric core exercise, which means we're not actually moving the core. The muscles are staying the same length, but we're engaging them as we're pressing down with our hands and up with our thigh, creating that kind of internal tension in the core. Okay? We'll do that for 30 seconds, those 3-second holds, and then rest repeated for 30 seconds on one side, and then we'll switch to the other side. Alrighty, last exercise. You're going to scooch all the way to the edge of your chair. So I'm just going to show you. This would be me sitting on the edge of my chair, and then you're going to lean your shoulders back till they're in the edge of the back of the chair, okay? I'm pretty short, so hopefully you won't be leaning back that much, okay? So you just want to create space between your glutes and your upper back. So we want to be in a declined position, okay? Your legs are going to go straight. We're going to be kicking, alternating legs here, okay? Straight legs, we're kicking, the toes are pointed. And the point of the recline here is that we're engaging the core as we're alternating our toe taps. Okay, guys, engaging the core. So this part of your upper back will be lying on the chair. We're engaging the core as we're tapping each toe. Alrighty, guys, we're going to get started with those exercises. Again, 30 seconds, rest for 10, and then we'll repeat for 30 for 2 rounds, starting with our knits in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, difficult exercise here. Thinking about inhale, bring those rib cage out to the side. Exhale, knit those ribs together. All right, inhale, breathe into the side of your ribs. Exhale, knit those ribs together. So really moving at our own pace here. Each time you inhale, bring those ribs out to the side. And then knit the ribs together, bring everything in towards your center. We have 10 seconds left. Really thinking about expanding into the sides of our rib cage. For 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, go ahead and rest. We've got 10 seconds rest. We're going to repeat that one. I'm going to try to narrate the timing for you guys, and I'm going to be showing the motion with my hands. We're going to start in 3, 2, and 1. Inhale for 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Alrighty, guys. So I hope you can really feel that expansion to the sides of your rib cage and then in towards the center of your core. We're going to be going for the hip isometrics. We're going to be putting our hands onto our right thigh, pressing down with our hands, up with our leg in 3, 2, 1. So press for 2, 3, 4, and rest. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Really pressing on that thigh. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 10-second rest. We're moving on to the left leg. I hope you can feel the tension in your core here. We're trying to push equally down with our upper body, up with our leg, creating that internal tension of isometric core contraction. We're going in 3, 2, and 1. Press for 3, 2, 1. Rest. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Last one. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job, guys. Going into our last exercise of set number 1. Go ahead and scooch to the edge of your chair. Lean back. We're going for our scissor kick. Straight legs. Hold on to the sides of your chair. We're going in 2 and 1. Tap the toe. Tap the toe. Tap the toe. Tap the toe. So again, the back of your shoulders will be resting on your chair, but we're alternating which foot we lift, pointing those toes, tapping the opposite toe. Here, we're engaging the low abs here, moving those legs. This is a hard one. For 3 and 2 and 1. Rest for 10 seconds. I'm just going to show you what it would look like if my back is actually resting on the back of the chair. So here we go. I've got that declined position, legs are handing off. Straight legs, tap and tap and tap and tap. Nice job. We've got 20 more seconds. Keep engaging that core. Tap and tap and tap and tap. Engage. Feel like pulling your core into your spine. Tap. Point those toes. Tap and tap and tap. For 3 and 2. Last one. We're done. Nice job, guys. That is set number 1 of our core circuit. We have one more set here, then we're moving on to my personal favorite, which is lower body. Got to work on those legs. We're going back to our knit breathing, thinking again about breathing into the sides of our rib cage and then knitting it all towards the center. Okay, guys, we're going in 2 and 1. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. And in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. At your own pace here, try to breathe out for a little bit longer than you do that breath in. And we're going to rest in 2, 3, 4. Have a little rest. We're going back into that knitting. Thinking about for our last set, I want you to try to really expand to the sides and then tuck those ribs together. thinking about squeezing it all towards your sternum. We're going in 2 and 1. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, and in. Oh, I messed that up. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more, guys. 2, 3, 4. Out, 3, 4, 5. Nice job, guys. That is it with our breathing. We're going back to those hip flexion isometrics. And know these ones are hard. Pressing on that right leg, we're going in 3-second intervals. So 1, 2, 3, and relax. Again, 1, 2, 3, and relax. Really push. 2, 3, and relax. You're not going to feel this one in your core if you're not pushing equally with your upper body and your lower body. So really create that tension. Feel like they're fighting each other. You're fighting yourself for this exercise for 3, 4, 5. Alrighty, all set, guys. We're going to go to the left leg. Last time doing these ones, if they're difficult for you, we're almost done, okay? You can make it through one more. We're going in 2, 3, 4, and go. 1, 2, 3, relax, push 1, 2, 3, relax, push 1, 2, 3, relax, 10 seconds, 2, 3, relax, 1, 2, 3, relax, last 1, 2, 3, relax. Great job, guys. I'm going to turn my chair. We're going for the last round of scissor kicks, but we've got 2 rounds of these, and then we're done with core. Okay, guys, on the edge of your chair, go ahead and lean back, straight legs here. We're going in 2 and 1, and kick, and kick, and kick, and kick. Keep that core engaged. Tapping the toe here, and kick, and kick, and kick, and kick. Nice job, guys. 10 seconds. Pull that core in, kick, and kick for 3 and 2 and 1. Alrighty, guys, rest for 10 seconds. Last round of these, guys, so keep your energy high. We're going in 3 and 2 and 1. Get in your nice position, straight legs, tap the toe, and go. 2, 3, 4. Straight legs. We're using the core to bring the leg up. We've got this nice decline positions. We're engaging the lower core here. We have less than 10 seconds left. Keep it going for 3 and 2. Last one. All done. Nice job, guys. That is your core circuit. Give yourselves a round of applause once again. We are going into our last bit of class today before our cool down, which is going to be our lower body. So just like the upper body, this one's going to be a little bit longer than the core circuit. Okay, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and show the exercises, and then we'll get right on into it. Alrighty, so we have, let me take a look-see here. For our last circuit, we have 5 exercises, alrighty? We'll be doing each exercise for 30 seconds. Some of them we'll have to be doing on both sides. We'll do 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and show them right now. Okay, there are standing and seated options. So a seated option for exercise number 1 is going to be our glute set. So we're sitting here, feet on the ground, sitting up nice and tall. We are squeezing our glute muscles and relaxing. Squeeze those muscles and relaxing. This is your option number 1 for exercise number 1, okay? If you would like to do this exercise in standing, we're going to go for a mini squat. So you'll come to the back of your chair, hold on to the back of your chair, make sure that your feet are nice and straight. We're going to sit those hips back like you're sitting in a chair and stand up. Sit those hips back and stand up. So this is the standing option. This is an advanced version of the exercise, okay? Only do this version of the exercise if approved by your physician. But make sure you have a surface to hold on to. Only sitting as far back as you feel comfortable. Make sure those knees are staying behind your toes, and then stand up straight. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Okay, guys, that is exercise number 1. Exercise number 2, we've seen it before if you've been in my class before. It's going to be our long arc quad. So everybody's going to do this one in seated. We're going to be straightening our leg out, slowly lowering our foot back to the ground. Straighten that leg, squeeze that quad, that thigh muscle, and then slowly lower. We'll do 30 seconds on the right and then 30 seconds on the left. Okay, guys, that is exercise number 2. Everybody's going to do it in seated, okay? Everybody's going to do this next one in seated too. I want to make sure that we can see here because it involves my feet. We're going to do a seated toe raise. So if your feet are on the ground here, instead of raising our heels like we do sometimes for heel raises, today we're going to be raising our toes. So we're working the front of our shins here, our anterior tibialis muscle. We're going to raise our toes up to the ceiling, lower them back to the floor. Toes to the ceiling, lower back to the floor. Okay, guys? So you'll be seated nice towards the front of your chair so that you have even pressure through both of your feet. And then you're lifting those toes up to the ceiling, back to the floor. You should feel this through the front of your calves. Okay, guys? That is exercise number 3. Exercise number 4 is going to be a hamstring curl. This one can be done in seated or standing. So if you're going to be doing it seated, make sure you have some room underneath your chair or sit to the side like I'm sitting. We're going to curl that heel towards the glute and relax. Curl the heel and relax. You can do this on your chair. Just make sure you can put your foot underneath your chair. Curl and relax. Alrighty, that's the seated option. If you'd like to do this exercise in standing, hold on to an object or your chair. You're going to curl the heel towards your glute, relax to the floor. Curl to the glute, relax to the floor. Okay, we'll do this on both sides, just making sure you bring that heel all the way up. Alrighty, guys, and last exercise, you can do this one in standing or in seated. If you're in seated, that's going to be our seated heel raise. Okay, guys, so this time we're working the back of our calves. Raise those heels, squeeze the back of your calves, slow lower them back to the floor. So we're doing front and then back of the calves with this exercise. Okay, if you would like to do this exercise in standing, hold on to your object like your chair. We're going to be coming up onto the heels or up onto the toes, slow lower the heels, up into the toes, slow lower the heels, working the back of the calf here. Okay, guys, this is pretty challenging exercise for the calf, so do it in seated if you feel any pain or difficulty with the standard exercise. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're doing 2 rounds, each exercise for 30 seconds. We're going in 3 and 2 and 1, starting with our seated glute set. So squeeze the glutes and relax. Squeeze and relax. So squeezing for about 2 seconds here and then relaxing those glute muscles. If you're going for the standing option, you're holding onto your chair, sitting your butt back like you're sitting in a chair, and then standing, squeeze your glutes. Sit, stand, squeeze your glutes. Only going for this option if you are approved to do squats by your physician. We're going 2 and 1. Everybody can relax and meet me in seated. If you are doing some of the standing options and then the seated options, you're getting a workout just by standing up and sitting down. So keep that in mind. If you start to get tired, you can always do all seated options. We're going for our long arc quad, starting with our right leg in 3 and 2 and 1. We're straightening the leg, slow lower back down. Straighten the leg, squeeze the quad, slow lower back down. Nice work. 15 seconds left. Really get as much out of this quad as you can. This is a big muscle group, so we need to definitely work on this one. Very important in your daily activities like walking and stairs. Going 3 and 2 and 1. Switch legs. I'm on my left leg now. Squeeze that quad, straighten that leg, and back down to the floor. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. We want to keep our posture good throughout, even our lower body exercises. It's really good to make sure you're mindful of your posture, even when you're not doing things that involve posture. That'll help you keep mindful of your posture throughout the day when you're doing your regular things. We're going for 3 and 2 and 1. All right, everybody, we're going for our seated toe raise next. Okay, so we're going to be keeping our heels on the ground, lifting the toes to the sky in 2 and 1. We've got lift and lower, lift and lower, toes up and lower. Nice job, guys. I'm just turning like this so that you can observe my toe movement, but feel free to stay seated in your chair the way that you were. Again, everybody's going to complete this one in seated, lift and lower, lift and lower. Try not to let your feet slap back down onto the ground like they want to. Try to slowly place them back down onto the ground. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Alrighty, guys, make your way to your comfortable position, whether that's standing or seated, for your hamstring curl. We're starting with the right leg in 2 and 1. Curl under the chair, back to neutral. You're going heel to glute and then coming back to neutral. Again, this is the seated option. If you're going for the standing option, you're going heel to glute and neutral, heel to glute and neutral. Okay. Somebody is talking to me through the window. We're going heel to glute and neutral, heel to glute and neutral. We're going to switch legs in 3 and 2 and 1. Alrighty, guys, now onto my left leg. Bringing that heel up towards your glute and then back to the ground. Again, if you're in the seated position, the left leg comes under your chair and then back to the ground. Sorry about that. There's somebody outside taking pictures of my roof. I got distracted. I'm easily distractible. And 3 and 2 and 1. All right, going to our calf raise next. We're going to be lifting our heels off the ground, slowly lowering our heels back down. If you're doing the seated option, lift the heels, slow lower, lift the heels, slow lower. Again, the standing option, same thing. Please hold on to a chair. We're starting in 3 and 2 and 1. Here we go. Lift, squeeze those calves and lower. Lift, squeeze the calves and lower. Again, slowly lowering those heels back to the ground. Try not to let them slap. If you're doing the standing option, which is a very challenging option if you think about it, because you're putting all your weight on this lower, okay, guys? So all of your weight is being supported by your calves if you're doing the standing option. So please be careful. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Nice job, guys. That is round number 1. Give yourselves a round of applause. 5 minutes left of work left in this class, and then we're going to hit our little cool down. Go ahead and grab some water. We have about 30 more seconds before we go into round number 2. So if you've taken my class before, you may have noticed I'm on my 3rd location. I did my first class in Connecticut at my off-campus housing. My second class I did when I was on vacation, and my 3rd class I'm teaching from my home in Massachusetts. And just goes to show that you really can do these exercises anywhere. If you're on vacation, if you're at home, wherever you can get a chair and a few, like 30 minutes to an hour, you can do some of these exercises and it will greatly improve your overall health. I highly recommend that if you could do these classes throughout your week and you're able to and approved by your doctor, that you try to incorporate it, because really all you need is something that you probably have anyways, which is your chair and yourself and your body present in this moment and giving back to your own body. All right, now that I'm done rambling, we're going to go into set number 2, which is going to be starting with the glute squeezes or the mini squats. We're starting in 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze the glutes and relax. Squeeze and relax. So you can see that I'm moving a little bit, but it's not movement of my legs. The only thing I'm doing is squeezing those butt muscles and then relaxing, okay? So squeeze and relax. This might be a weird feeling if you haven't done glute sets before, but this is a really good exercise to engage and activate your glutes. And you can do this one anywhere. You can do it in the car. Probably nobody would even notice if you did it in the restaurant. We're going for 3 and 2 and 1. Nice job. If you were doing the squat options, make your way to seated. We're going for our long arc quads, so straightening our leg. We're going to start with the right leg in 3, 2, and 1. Right leg comes out and lower, out and lower. Squeeze the quad and lower, quad and lower. So this is your kicking the soccer ball motion. This is the motion that we use a lot throughout our day. We are straightening that leg and squeezing this massive muscle on the front of our thigh. For 3 and 2 and 1, go ahead and switch. We're going left leg now, straightening that leg out. Heel goes out in front of us. I like to flex the foot for this one, but we're really focusing on the quad here, squeezing the top of that thigh muscle. We've got about 10 seconds left. Sit up nice and tall. If your legs are getting tired, we have about 3 minutes left of legs. Feel free to take a break whenever you need to. We got 3 and 2 and 1. We're getting ready for those seated toe raises. Okay, guys? Last time doing these ones, I know it might feel a little bit weird to work the front of your shin because usually we do the calf raises for the back, but we're doing both today. We're starting in 2 and 1. Raise your toes, slow lower. Raise, slow lower. Again, we're preventing that slapping noise on the floor. So think about as daintily as you can lay your toes back onto the ground. Think about the way you would tiptoe to the cookie jar in the middle of the night. That's how quiet we want that rest to be. So really slow lowering those feet. We've got 3 and 2, last one, and rest. We're going for our hamstring curl next. So again, bringing the heel underneath the chair and then back to neutral here. We're going to do the right leg. If you're in the standing position, we're bringing the heel to the glute and then relaxing. Okay, guys, I'm going to show the seated option. We're going for 3 and 2 and 1. Here we go. Squeeze that heel towards your glute. So this is the hamstring curl. So we're working on those long arc quads, which is where we're extending the leg out straight. That is working our quad, which is on the top, the front of our thigh. The hamstring curl is going to be working the back of our thigh. Okay, so equally as important muscles. Again, use it for walking, for stairs, for running, anything like that. We're going for 3 and 2 and 1. We're going to switch to the left leg. Again, curling that heel towards the glute. I will show the standing option with the left leg, curl and lower, curl and lower. Okay, guys. So think about this is a difficult exercise as well because it's requiring us to balance on one leg while we're doing these curls. We're going for 3 and 2 and 1. Last exercise is going to be our calf raises here. If you'd like to do them in the standing position, we're going to be doing them like this onto the toe, slow lower. Otherwise, in our seated position, we're lifting the heels and slow lowering. Either way, your last 30 seconds, we're going in 3 and 2 and 1. Lift the heels, slow lower. Lift the heels, slow lower. We've got 20 seconds left of work in this class. Appreciate your body for what it has given you today and what it hasn't. You've made it all the way through this class. You have 5 and 4, 3 and 2 and 1. Great job, guys. Round of applause for you. That is the end of our lower body circuit. I hope that you enjoyed. We're going to just do a little cool down, a little short cool down, and then we'll be on our merry way for the rest of your day. This was a longer class today, so if you find yourself a little bit more tired than usual at the end, that's absolutely okay. Make sure to take it easy for the rest of your day and enjoy. So first of all, bring your arms out to the side as much as is comfortable. We're going to open the chest here. Think about leaning your chest forward and then give yourself a big hug. We're going to do right arm on top here. Again, if you can only bring your arms across like this, that's also okay. Just going to give yourself a big hug. We're going to squeeze for 2, 3, 4, and relax. We're going to, again, open the chest. Bring the chest forward, chin a little bit tilted toward the ceiling, and then bring the left arm across. Give yourself a big hug. Again, here is fine. You're going to be squeezing for 2, 3, 4, and relax. Okay, we're going to be bringing the right arm across the chest, pulling it in with the left. If you can only bring your arm to the front of you, only a little bit across, that's fine. We just want to feel a little bit of a stretch on the outside of your arm. We're going to hold for 2, 3, 4, 5. You can drop that arm to neutral. We're going to bring the left arm across the chest, squeeze for 2, 3, 4, 5. Great job. We're going to be doing a stretch like our heel touches before that we were doing at the beginning of class, but we're going to hold it this time. So make sure you have a comfortable and well-rooted seat. I don't want anybody tipping forward, but we're going to reach our arms up to the ceiling as tall as you can, and then go ahead and reach towards your heel. All right, so we're trying to get a little bit of a hamstring stretch in here. So as straight as you can get your leg in this position without feeling like you're going to tumble over forward. And then we're just folding the chest towards the thigh, okay, melting down. You should feel this one through the back of your calf, maybe a little bit through the back of your knee and the back of your thigh here. Only go as far as is comfortable. This shouldn't be painful. Maybe a little bit of discomfort with that stretching sensation, but not painful at all. Then hold for 3, 2, and 1. Come up. We are going to switch. Going to the left again, reach towards the ceiling and come down towards that heel. Hold for 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. We're going to go for those shoulder rolls again, bringing the shoulders up, back, and down the spine. Just a little thank you to our back, a thank you to our spine and our shoulders for all the work it does throughout our day. We forget how important our posture is a lot of the time when we're busy living our lives, and it's important to give back to your body. Again, one more time with those neck rolls, bringing ear to shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder, and chin to sky. Moving slowly at your own pace. When you're ready, go ahead and switch directions. Giving back to your neck, which holds up your heavy head all day. We're going for 3 and 2 and 1. That is it for today, everybody. Thank you for coming to class today. Great job making it through this whole class. Again, my name is Lydia. I teach some of the equip classes. I also teach at Quinnipiac. If you have any questions, you can always reach me at my email, lydia.mason@quinnipiac.edu, for any questions about the class that you may have. But other than that, I will let you guys get going after this long class. Again, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching this recorded class today. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.